Good morning. It is Monday, April the 7th of 2025. The time is 8:07. Currently, a little bit of sunshine, some clouds, even some snow flurries out there in the Wausau area. At our WXCO studios at the corner of Washington Street and North 3rd Street in downtown Wausau, temperature stands at 28 degrees with a wind chill factor of 17. I am Chad Holmes. It is the Monday edition of the Chad Holmes Show here on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Coming up in about 13 minutes or so, we'll be joined by meteorologist Brittney Merlot. Yeah, it is chilly out there, but we expect things to start warming up. We'll give you a look at our early week weather forecast coming up in just a little bit at 8:21 when we are joined again by meteorologist Brittney Merlot. Then just after the bottom of the hour at 8:34, we will be talking about the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater as coming up this weekend. They have the Enchanted Bookshop Musical that will be performed at the Venega Theater at the campus of UW Stevens Point at Wausau. That show will be held on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Venega Theater. And we will be joined by the director of that show, Brenton Kneiss, as well as actors Jenna Graveen, Maddie Flees, and Lucy Olson. And that's coming up at 8:34 this morning. And then at the end of the show, we'll have our daily history lesson at 9:51. We will take a look at some of the famous events that have occurred on this date in history. Also, some celebrity birthdays, some special events that are being acknowledged today, and our number for the day quiz. Every day, we give Ian Welsh the number for the day quiz, and he is across the way behind the glass and with us here this morning. Good morning, Ian.
Good morning, Jen.
How was the weekend?
Pretty quiet, actually. Not too much going on. The weather wasn't too bad. I was able to get out aside on a Saturday and go for a nice walk. And I wake up this morning and it's got some flurries in the air and it's pretty cold. So quite a change from a couple of days ago. But I saw on the 7-day that it is supposed to get better. So spring will slowly come around.
Absolutely. I had a good weekend, busy weekend. Was able to get those first spring high school sports broadcasts under our belt.
Nice.
On Friday and Saturday. Had a chance to see the Wausau West softball team in action in their season openers. There was a DC Everest softball invite. There were games at the Green Heck Turner Family Arena, part of the Green Heck Turner family complex over at DC Everest. And they had two games going on at the same time, Friday at 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m., and then Saturday at 10 a.m., 12 noon, and 2 p.m. So lots of softball action. thing about it is, though, and again, it's a great place to get the season underway when the fields are not ready. But I am ready to be outside, ready to see some games outdoors.
Yeah.
There were a couple of instances where balls hit the ceiling at the arena.
Oh boy.
And umpires had to make judgments on whether or not the ball was going to be a home run, whether or not it was going to be caught. A couple of times there were balls that were hit so well, hit the ceiling, they said home run. Other times they called them outs. So again, it was a lot of judgment calls for the umpires, but in the end, it was good for some live action to get those games underway. Scheduled to be outside tomorrow for our first high school baseball broadcast as the Wausau West Warriors are taking on Menominee. And that game was scheduled to be played over at Wausau West. But because, as we see, another light coating of snow out there, the weather's still chilly.
Yep.
The fields in the outfield not ready to go at Wausau West. So the game will be played tomorrow in Wisconsin Rapids. Wisconsin Rapids has fields that are completely artificial turf. And the temperature is expected to be a little warmer, still be a bit chilly tomorrow, but they're still going to go
a little bit.
Play outdoors in Wisconsin Rapids. They've also changed the time of the game. So tomorrow I will be heading to Wisconsin Rapids, Wausau West baseball against Menominee. Coverage will begin with the pregame show at 6 o'clock and the first pitch at 6:15. So again, a little bit later than our originally scheduled start time, 6 o'clock pregame right here on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Also on Friday evening, had an opportunity to go to Wausau West and see the theater performance of All My Sons. Nice. And it was terrific. We had a chance to talk to 5 of the cast members last Monday as they got ready for the production. And it was really, really well done. And all the performers really just amazed me, especially a couple that had to play older characters. These are high school kids. And they have to play characters, I would say in their 50s or their 60s, and they pulled it off beautifully.
It can be a challenge.
It was, I'm sure, a great challenge. And also a challenge occurred near the end of Act 2. Really? All of a sudden, the lights started to go a little differently. And I wasn't sure if that was just meant to be, somehow it was the way that the lights were supposed to go.
Okay.
But then at the end of the act, the producer got on the microphone and said, "Hey, we're having some issues here with the lighting." And the thing about it that was just so impressive is near the end of the second act, it was part of a really emotional point in the play.
Okay.
And even with those lights going in an odd way, and the performers did not let it affect them at all. So, I mean, that's one reason why I thought, well, maybe this is the way it's supposed to be. But no, it was not. And yet the performers did not let that affect them at all. They reached a crescendo at the end of the act, and they couldn't even get the lights to properly go off at the end. So that's when the producer came on the microphone and said that they were having some issues, and they took a few moments and were able to figure things out. But the thing that just was so impressive is when you have a curveball thrown at you. And that can happen from time to time in live theater, because that's
Absolutely.
one of the aspects where something can technically go a little bit off kilter.
That's right.
But at that point, that shows the real, I would say, professionalism of these young actors, that they did not let that affect a very important few minutes in that play. Very important moments at the end of act number 2. And they were able to keep that emotional level, that emotional pitch exactly where it was, and then to be able to finish off the show despite those issues as well was just amazing. It was such a powerful play. Number one, the play is a powerful piece of theater. I mean, All My Sons, Arthur Miller. One thing I've noticed about Arthur Miller's shows is that he does not believe in the happy ending. In this show, in The Crucible, in Death of a Salesman, I mean, his classics do not end where you're saying, "Oh, wonderful." It all came together in a very happy ending. It did not come together in a very happy ending, because it was actually, I had put something on my social media about being there on Friday night, and somebody else that was there said, at the end of the show, it was such an emotional finish. And the way the show ended, I'm not going to spoil it because you may see it sometime. Hopefully, if you another opportunity to see All My Sons somewhere, I would suggest folks get out there and do it. But the person on my social media said, well, it's like, we wanted to get on our feet and applaud and make sure that these performers understood it. But for a moment there at the end of the show, it's like you don't know what to do because it's like you don't want to start applauding after what happened at the end of the show. But after a moment, everybody put their hands together and gave great appreciation to the young people that performed so brilliantly. It was a wonderful set design as well. It was just everything about it was terrific, and was very happy to get over there on Friday evening and see the show at Wausau West. But as we said earlier, that this weekend there's more opportunities to see live theater with the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater.
Oh, yes.
We have a chance to go to DC Everest, and we'll be talking to performers from DC Everest coming up this week as well as they get set for their production of All Shook Up. Also coming up this weekend, Wausau East and their East End Players will be presenting Hadestown Teen Edition over at Wausau East. So again, it's going to be just you can basically go and see shows almost every night this weekend, or see a matinee on Sunday. I mean,
springtime is usually a pretty busy time for theater.
It is, and it's just fantastic, and to be able to see shows over at Wausau East Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. See shows over at the Venega Theater at UWSP with the Children's Theater on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. See shows over at DC Everest as well. So again, we will talk more about these productions. Make sure that you know about them coming up this week.
Oh yeah.
And again, coming up at 8:34, we will have 3 of the cast members and the director of Enchanted Bookshop Musical from the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater with us as well. Coming up later in the show, we're going to talk about the big protests going on both here in Central Wisconsin and throughout the country up against some of the actions of the Trump administration. So we will be doing that coming up. But coming up next, we will be joined by the meteorologist, Brittney Merlot, about the weather forecast. Coming up, Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
I go, can't stop myself out of control. Get over here, no time to think. Looks like the whole world's out of sync.
Morning, Brittney.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, in spite of the little cold snap we have outside. But thankfully, I saw the last one.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to the end of the week.
Me too.
It's going to be I'm very comfortable.
Looks good.
shining. Because you will not believe your eyes. She's right here behind the glass. You're gonna like her, cause she's got class. You can look inside
Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO. And on the Civic Media app. And again, also you can join us at YouTube.com. Go to our YouTube channel, the 98.9 WXCO channel there. Be able to see a video stream as well as our audio of this program. And again, you can also join us by calling or texting us. Same number, either to call or text, 715-382-9297. That's 715-382-9297 to be part of the program as well. And of course, you can also use your Civic Media app by going to the 98.9 WXCO part of the app. You can hit a button to call, hit a button to text, hit a button to send us an email, hit a button to go to our website, hit a button to listen to our live stream. You can hit buttons all over the place. One thing we like to hit a button for is for warmer weather. And it's another chilly start here in north central Wisconsin. In fact, as I look outside, I see some light snow falling here on the 7th day of April. Some light snow falling, temperature below freezing, but things are going to change. We keep saying it, but it is eventually going to change. And to let us know about the forecast here as we start off another new work week, we're joined by our meteorologist, Brittney Merlot. Brittney, good morning.
Good morning. It's the worst day of the week. Don't worry. We'll get through it.
It's Monday. Of course, it's the worst day of the week, right?
Seriously, right?
But it was
Who
funny,
likes 'em?
actually. Yeah, when I was driving in, the sun was actually out and it was snowing.
Isn't that something?
It was a combination, and it's a chilly start here. We had a dusting of snow apparently overnight as I came to work as well. Apparently, a system may have blown through last night.
Yeah, so a cold front moved through. We've got a low pressure system that's hovering over Michigan right now, actually dropping south. So it's still flinging a few flurries. In fact, there was a winter weather advisory into Iron County that's, I think, still goes till about 10 a.m. this morning, where they're getting inches and inches of snowfall over there. So lake effect is turned on, and we're seeing a few of those flurries fling their way through the area. But like you said, just a dusting, no accumulations from it, and spots of sun mixed in there too. But we will stay cloudy today, mostly cloudy, just a few spots of those sun. But otherwise, the winds are whipping. They're gusting up to about 20, 30 miles per hour. They're pulling out of the north. It's blustery, it's chilly, it's crisp, and highs today are only going to be in those mid-30s. So what you're feeling now is what we're going to feel pretty much all day, and the wind chills are making us feel more like the mid-20s. So it's the coldest, it's the dreariest day, of course. Tonight will fall down to the teens as overnight lows. Winds will start to calm, and the sun will come back out. So tomorrow is going to be bright and beautiful, calmer and warmer, with highs in the low 40s. And we only go up from there. Every single day we get warmer. So Wednesday, a little messy in the morning. We do have a chance of a little bit of a wintry mix of light snow, light drizzle, turns to all light drizzle through the afternoon. So this will be Wednesday with highs in the upper 40s. And then Thursday, the sun comes back out. It's going to stay out Thursday through the entire weekend. And highs on Thursday will be in the low 50s. We'll be in the mid 50s by Friday. We keep going up. We get a 60 on Saturday. And we're going to hit a mid 60s on Sunday. So, woo, spring weather. Yes, it's really on the way.
So we just keep on that pattern. By the time we get to about midweek of next week, we'll be about 90.
They can wait. That can wait a little bit. I'm not ready for 90 yet.
But you like the pattern here. I mean, obviously, it's not that hard to go up from where we are today, but it just keeps on going and going. And doggone, we got to get rid of all of this snow. I don't want to see even little piles of snow anymore. And we've seen these little piles of snow out there. But as we get to the weekend, I would say that if you get into the 60s consistently, especially if those temperatures overnight hang out over freezing, I'm not sure we're going to see that exactly yet. But then we can get rid of that snow because, doggone, I don't want to see the snow anymore for a while.
Get it out of the memory, get it out of our visuals, have it be gone. I agree with you. Just looking outside right now with the flurries on the roofs and just, oh man, what the heck?
And we just got to start drying things out too, because again, I know that the folks, I see people just grabbing those golf clubs, just swinging them, but they can't go out there and golf yet. And we're already into April, so doggone, we are in spring. It's time. In fact,
I know.
by your calendar and my calendar, we're already 5 weeks into spring.
We sure are. Yeah. I mean, it's Severe Weather Awareness Week this week. We're rolling right into spring. I mean, the weather is going to be changing. Those snow piles are going to be melting. And we're going to be talking about severe thunderstorms and tornadoes and all of that. So, yep, those sirens are going to be sounding on Thursday. So make a plan with your family and practice it. And those are the times to do it.
And the thing is, we've already seen moments where you've had to think about severe weather. I mean, that's how
Yeah.
quickly things change around here. We've had all this snow, but there have been moments where we've had to deal with rumbles of thunder, thunderstorms, and even, not right here, but close enough to get our attention. Tornadic activity.
Absolutely. Southern parts of the state, they've already seen funnel clouds just last week. Just because it didn't touch the ground, they got lucky. So we've got to be ready for this. I mean, there have been, I think, 44 severe weather reports just down south that happened over the past few days. And of course, that flooding down there too. Oh my gosh, have you seen those houses
Yeah.
just submerged? It is terrible, terrible, terrible. But that's all from the severe weather, just continuously hitting them with downpours and lots of rain. And that's what caused all of that. So not too far away, that severe weather is already starting.
And what are the details here for this early part of the work week?
Nice and beautiful, to be honest with you. A few flurries out there today, blustery cold, highs in the mid 30s, feeling more like the mid 20s, but by tomorrow the sun will be out, nice and calm into those low 30s. A little bit of a wintry mix on Wednesday morning, some rain through the afternoon, highs still comfortable in the upper 40s, and we continue that climb. Oh, I can't wait for Thursday and into the weekend. Low 50s on Thursday, mid 50s on Friday, low 60s on Saturday, and mid 60s on Sunday with plenty of sunshine.
Already looking
Very
forward
nice.
to the end of the
Yes.
week and that weekend to be warm and sunny and really have great opportunities to get out there. Because I just saw somebody walking by in a big winter coat holding the hood because of that wind that's blowing out there as well. It definitely is still cold out there. So we got something to look forward to. Brittney, thanks again for the info. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye,
You too.
Brittney.
Bye.
That's our Brittney Merlot. Joins us every weekday morning at 8:21 right here on the show. Light snow, 28 degrees here in Wausau. North winds at 13 miles per hour, gusting as high as 24 miles per hour. Wind chill factor of 17. Dew point of 19. Relative humidity of 69%. Barometer at 29.93 inches and a visibility of 9 miles. Coming up, we're going to talk to cast members of the Enchanted Bookshop Musical from the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater. That's coming up next here on WXCO.
See what's become of me. Ready to go. Ready to go.
And welcome back. Chad Holmes with you here on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app, and again as well on YouTube, youtube.com, and the 98.9 WXCO channel on YouTube. You can join us by calling or texting at 715-382-9297. 715-382-9297. And coming up, again, we were talking in the first segment of the program about how busy it is for fans of theater. And mentioned last week we had Wausau West and their production of All My Sons, and now we got a number of different productions coming up this weekend. And over at the Venega Theater on the campus of the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point at Wausau, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater, the Enchanted Bookshop Musical. And we are very happy to welcome into studio the director, Brenton Kneiss, along with three of the cast members, Jenna Graveen, Maddie Flees, and Lucy Olson. And all of you, thank you all for coming. And make sure when you're talking into the microphone, you get pretty close so everybody can hear you as well. But thank you all for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with our director, Brenton. And I guess the first question I always ask, because one of the things about CWCT is you get so many kids involved. It's usually a pretty big cast, and it sounds like another rather large cast for this production as well.
Yes, 45 kids in the cast. That's actually kind of small for a children's theater show recently. But yeah, 45 kids in the show, a variety of characters, lots of different opportunities, some great ensemble roles, great featured roles, and a lot of nice leading roles in the show. So lots of great opportunities for kids to explore theater, especially if it's their first time. A lot of seasoned actors as well, bringing all these kids together to put on a great performance.
Let me ask you before we get to the girls, the Enchanted Bookshop Musical. Could you maybe give a thumbnail sketch on what this show is about?
I think my elevator description of the show is night at the museum in a bookshop. That's what I thought when I first read it. So basically it's book characters come to life in a bookstore, not a lot of customers in the bookstore. And so there's a book fairy character who brings these book characters to life, and they kind of have a life of their own in the bookstore. And they're there to help the bookstore owner save her store. There's a couple of jewel thieves that show up that cause a little havoc in the show, and they try to help prevent anything bad from happening to the bookstore owner whose name is Margie.
Okay, well, let's talk to Margie then. Jenna Graveen, Margie. Tell us a little bit about. Before we talk about the character, how long have you been in theater?
I've been in theater since the 7th grade.
And what are you right now? What is your grade level?
I am a 10th grader.
So about 4 years.
Mhm.
Talk about this character, Margie. What is the character? Maybe as well, what has been the biggest challenge of this character for you?
All right. Margie is just this fun and airheaded character. She is so fun to play because she is so me. She adores books. She wants to try to make her bookstore survive while also having a sort of a silly aura to her character and personality. And I think the biggest challenge of playing Margie is definitely how energetic she is. I mean, I get it. I'm energetic too, and I put a lot of that into Margie. So it gets like tiring by the time the second act rolls around. I'm like, ugh. But it's so fun. I love playing Margie so much.
Maddie Flees, your character is Fingers. I'm almost afraid to
Great
ask.
name.
Yeah. Who is Fingers?
So Fingers and Eddie are the two jewel thieves in question. They break into the store looking for a diamond necklace hidden in one of the books.
How old are you? What grade are you in?
So I am 16 and I am also a sophomore at Wausau West.
How long have you been involved in the theater?
My first show was Mamma Mia, June of 2019.
What is it that drew you to acting and performing, and what's kept you there?
That's an amazing question. I think I think since I was super little, I would go to like those like pop-up shows they do at the library, and they'd take the volunteers, and I'd always cry because I wasn't in the show. I'd go to shows, and I literally climbed up on stage during like some performance to be in the show. So I think my parents figured out, yeah, she wants to do this. So my mom was like, hey, they're doing, my first show I ever auditioned for was The Lion King, and I didn't get in because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And my mom's like, hey, you want to do Mamma Mia? And it was a show I'd never heard of. And I was like, sure, why not? And I got in, and I've just been going because just seeing how far I can go, how far I can push myself. It's been just such a fun journey. I love it.
And Lucy Olson, playing a rather famous name in the world of movies and stage, Dorothy Gale. Could you tell us a little bit about your version of Dorothy?
My version of Dorothy, she's a fearless and clever personality, and she doesn't like to I don't know, she doesn't let people get in the way of things that are important to her. She likes to get things done, and she likes to have them done well and stuff.
And what grade are you in?
I'm in 5th grade.
When did you first be involved in any theatrical productions?
I'm fairly new to theater. My first show was Beauty and the Beast last year.
Oh, what was it that drew you in? Why did you say, hey, this is something I want to be part of?
Well, during Beauty and the Beast, I watched the main characters, and I thought, wow, I really want to try to do this. And so I decided to audition for Les Mis, and I did not get in. But then I auditioned for this, and I did get it.
Is this a little bit of a bigger role than you've had before?
Yes, for sure.
What is the challenge of that? How, I guess, we always talk about process when it comes to doing a theatrical role. What has this been like in terms of preparing from the very beginning and through the process up to this point where you're just a few days away from actually having the curtain open for your opening night?
Yeah, it's very challenging because Dorothy, she has a lot of lines, and she has a song, and she's a fairly big character in the show. So just trying to remember the lines and remember the choreography.
Again, we're talking to Brenton Kneiss, Jenna Graveen, Maddie Flees, and Lucy Olson, director and cast members for the Enchanted Bookshop Musical, which will be performed by the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater at the Venega Theater at UWSP at Wausau on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Brenton, I know you've been involved directing different age groups, adults, kids. What are the great things about being part of the CWCT and working with all these young people?
So this is my first show for children's theater. I think what the experience I wanted to have is being able to diversify my directing skills a little bit. When you go into a room and you're directing, you have to speak about 45 different languages, right? Because everyone learns differently. So I have to speak all the languages of all the different actors in the room, and just how many actors I have in general. So you're able to communicate something. It might be a little bit different than when you're talking to an adult,
right?
Or a high schooler, or middle schooler. It just really depends on the age of the actor. But you want to be able to make sure the actor has all the tools they need to succeed. And as a director, being able to pick my choreographer, my vocal director, choosing people who I think will help enhance the rehearsal room and make sure that the actors have everything they have that we can give them to perform the best show on stage.
I want to ask the girls about favorite parts of the show, maybe even favorite scenes, favorite moments for you and when you're performing. We'll start with you, Jenna. What is there a favorite moment or scene in the show for you and your character?
Oh yeah. It's after Eddie and Fingers come in and just absolutely destroy the bookshop. And one of the girls, her name is Nella. She plays Bombalurina in the show. She is a cat, obviously, and she'll go and she'll hiss, and Eddie and Fingers will run off. And I perform this whole musical number solely around how brave I think this cat is, and it is so funny. And the choreo is so intense, and it is an amazing challenge for me. So it's my favorite simply because it's so stupid, and I love it.
Spoiler alert, she's not brave.
Stop.
She's not. She's not.
Okay, Maddie calling her out here. Okay, I see how it is.
Sorry. It's too easy.
And it's also my favorite because it really pushes me as an actor and a singer. The choreography is very, very intense. So I'm belting at the top of my range whilst also trying to spin around this cat, which is perfect. I love it.
And Maddie, what about you? Is there a favorite either moment or scene for you in this show?
I love pretty much everything about my character, but if I had to pick a moment, and you're gonna know what I'm talking about, Jenna, there is a spot she asks us what business we're in. And we are not prepared. You can't just tell her we're thieves. So my partner asks me, hey, what do we do? And I flat out just say monkey business. And she asks what? And so I have to fabricate this whole lie, keep in mind all in a New York gangster accent about what my job is. So I'm going like, yeah, we import them and export them. We send them out and we bring them back. And it's just like the stupidest thing. And I love just seeing both her face of confusion and my partner Eddie's face of just sheer he's giving up. And it's just so fun. Like, it's like, yes, this is me. Hello.
And Lucy, what about you? Is there a favorite part of the show for you and your character?
I think that my favorite part of the show for my character is probably during We Have Got to Help Margie, because a big part of my character is that I want to help Miss Margie save the store. And so this is going to be my first time singing on stage, and I just think it's such a really fun scene. The choreography is so awesome, and yeah.
When are you all the ladies here, are you hoping to continue along this pathway and continue to be involved in theater and who knows for how long? I mean, obviously, you have a lot of time to kind of develop it, but has your enjoyment and love of this continued to grow with participating in this show?
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Jenna, why don't you start off?
I really think my love for theater has really come out in this show. This is my first lead role in general. I've usually been resigned to ensemble and minor roles. So me having my lead role, I can finally understand what it's like for those big actors on stage to really pour themselves into their character. Because Margie, as I keep saying, is literally me. That's me coming out on stage. And it is so fun to experiment and to figure out who I am in the theater business. And to know that I get to continue that in the future is just the biggest honor you can have.
Maddie, anything to add?
I know I got my first lead a year ago. I was on here for Princess What's Her Name as the male lead, which was a journey, but that's a story for a different time. Yeah, I love theater. I love what I do. I am a very big comic relief role. Like, it is hard to play comic relief, and I've been told I can do it well. But I would love to keep going, see how far I can push myself. I would love to do something serious like All My Sons, just to see how I would do with that. Like, there's so many new things I want to try in the theater world, and I'm so excited for all the opportunities I have to get there.
And Lucy, I guess that maybe a little bit of a different shade on it, being this first significant role, has it been what you expected? Has it whetted your appetite for even more?
Yes, for sure. It was really cool to kind of see how it is to have a role and be able to have lines and to be able to, I don't know, have a character to become and to be to the audience. It's just a really cool experience.
And I guess, Brenton, we only have about 90 seconds left. Let's get the information out there. Number one here, for when are the performances for this show and how do you get tickets?
Yeah, so performances are Friday, April 11th at 7 p.m. Then we have two shows on Saturday, April 12th, 2 p.m. and at 7 p.m. And then we close on Sunday, April 13th at 2 p.m. All performances at the Veninga Theater at the UW Center for Civic Engagement. For tickets, they can go to cwct.booktix.com. And Booktix is spelled BOOKTIX.
And if you go to, and I know it's on your Facebook page,
Yes.
and also, is there a Central Wisconsin Children's Theater website they can go to as well?
They can go to mycwct.org as well for tickets.
Fantastic. And again, ladies, thank you all for coming in. Brenton, thank you for coming in. Break a leg this weekend, and I know you're going to have a wonderful time. And really, thank you again for coming and sharing your experiences.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Again, CWCT coming up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 4 big performances, and your opportunity to head on over to the UWSP at Wausau for the show. The time is almost 8:49. We're going to take a short time out and come right back. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
Carry on. If you look around, the whole world's coming together now. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Feel it in the air. The wind is taking it everywhere. Yeah. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? All the colors of the world should be loving together and harmony. Yes, it's all right. Take my message to your brother and tell him twice.
Chad Home Show 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Again, thanks to the 3 members of the cast and the director from the Enchanted Bookshop Musical. Again, coming on Friday with 1 show, 2 shows, both a matinee and an evening performance on Saturday, and a matinee again coming up on Sunday over at UWSP at Wausau. The Venega Theater, or Veniga. I don't even know how the pronunciation is on that. I've heard it both ways.
I just say a vinegar.
Right, and I've heard it Veniga, and but I think the folks know it because it's a wonderful venue. It's a wonderful venue to watch a production. It's a venue. It looks like I haven't had a chance to be on a stage there, but it looks like a nice place to be on stage as well. But
It's very nice.
you have an opportunity to see it. Tomorrow we will have another opportunity to speak to some young performers as DC Everest coming up this weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be performing All Shook Up, another musical performance over at DC Everest.
Super fun show.
Their theater department will be putting that one on. And they will have some cast members, and also I think the director, Marshall Deloney, will be coming by tomorrow. They'll be with us in the second hour tomorrow at 9:34. So make sure that you plan ahead for Central Wisconsin Children's Theater, DC Everest, and Wausau East and their East End players, because they all are putting on shows this weekend.
It's going to be a busy weekend.
It will be. It will be. So, I mean, you may have to see a show on Friday night. You may be able to go to see the Children's Theater for a matinee on Saturday. See you another show on Saturday night, and still have Sunday open if you need that extra slot to try to figure a way to get over there. So many opportunities, and really you will not regret it. I mean, again, Friday night was so much fun to be over at West and see that show, and to see the incredible talent that the young people have in our area. I remember when I was in college and early adulthood doing a few shows, and I think, man, these kids are so much better than I was, and the people around me were back then. I mean, they have found this different level, and the talent that just comes through. And it's, again, as we talked about, so wonderful that we have these schools, we have these independent groups, we have the professional touring companies that come through our area. So many great opportunities, either as a performer, as somebody behind the scenes, or just as a patron, to be able to come and watch all these incredible shows. And I know that you're getting set to start the process all over again, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Rehearsals for Anastasia through the Wausau Community Theater. Well, should be starting next Monday, right after the Enchanted Bookshop Musical is over. So Brenton is going from one show straight to another. He's a very busy guy.
So you saw your director here today, so you got to make sure that you keep him happy over the next couple of months.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to make sure I do my best.
or he's got to try to keep you happy over the next couple of months, and the rest of the cast members. But that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And you're up to what, 77, if I'm not mistaken? or something like that.
This will be my Anastasia will be my 74th.
74th. Oh, you're getting up there. You're gonna, in a number.
I'm almost at 75. So.
Yeah, so you're gonna be continuing, and should be a lot of fun. I know you so much enjoy it, and so many other people enjoy it as well. So, yep. What group is this? Is this community theater?
This is the Wausau Community Theater.
Okay, because you got River and Wood, you got community theater, you got so many different groups out there that are putting these performances on. So again, and we've talked about in the past that folks out there who may hear these young people on, or when we get closer to your show, the folks involved in your production, that it's never too late to get involved, is it?
Nope. You can get involved at any age, and there are no small parts. Every part in theater is vital to the development of any show, whether it's being on the stage or being in the orchestra or being behind the scenes and doing a set building or selling tickets or just helping out with the props. Any role in the theater is a big role. And if you don't have one of those roles, it doesn't all come together. So all these parts may seem kind of small, but when you put them all together, it puts on an incredible show.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. It's truly theater magic, and we encourage folks to get their tickets and come out and support the folks, the kids, everybody around here in our community, and get entertained. I mean, it is, you get your money's worth. I felt that way on Friday night, and I'm sure again this coming weekend as well.
And it should be nice weather this weekend to go out to theater as well, so you don't have to make any excuse. Well, the weather is bad.
There you go.
Well, it's not going to be bad. It's going to be nice.
Coming up, we got another hour to go on the program. Going to talk about a huge rally in Rib Mountain, protesting the policies of the administration. Talk about that coming up, and a whole bunch more. With Ian Welsh, I'm Chad Holmes. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
All I need is a TV show and the radio. Down on my luck again. Down on my luck again. I can show you some of the people in my life. I can show you some of the people in my life. It's driving me mad. Just another way of passing the day.
Good morning. Start of a new work week. It is Monday, April the 7th of 2025. The time is 9:07. Some light snow. Yep, I'm looking out to my right. Out onto Washington Street here in downtown Wausau. Our WXCO studios at the corner of Washington Street and North 3rd Street. And there is snow flying. Otherwise, overcast, guys, very light snow. Nothing that should be any issue, but light snow, overcast, 28 degrees with a wind chill factor of 16. I am Chad Holmes. It is hour number 2 of the Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app, and at YouTube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel. You can join us by calling or texting at 715-382-9297. That's 715-382-9297 to be part of the program. Coming up, we will talk about the big protest, not just here in central Wisconsin, but throughout the country. In fact, I heard anywhere from 3 to 5 million people hit the streets on Saturday afternoon to protest what is going on in our country right now involving Trump 2.0. So,
Yeah.
and there was hundreds of folks here in central Wisconsin in Rib Mountain. During the course of that event, I was broadcasting a softball game on Saturday, and I was getting a report from folks who were driving around that there were a lot of folks, a lot of horn honking to support the protesters. So we're going to talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Also, we will have at the end of our program our daily history lesson, talk about some of the famous events that have occurred on this date in history, some of the celebrity birthdays that are happening, some of the special events that are being acknowledged on the 7th of April. And we will wrap it up with our number for the day quiz. And Ian Welsh is on the hot seat again at about 9:56 or so as we give Ian a quiz, one of which is the correct answer, the number for the day. There will be 2 choices that are incorrect. So based on the math, just by guessing, you should get 1 out of 3, which is 33%. So if he's above 33% for the week, he will be getting a passing grade. If he's below 33% for the week, he will get a failing grade. But we don't want just a passing grade. We don't believe in mediocrity around here. We believe in
shoot for the stars.
Exactly. We want to be, beyond just passing. We want excellence.
Yes.
And a winning week is more right than wrong. Or in the case of last week, 50%. But 50% or better. You get 50% or better, you have a winning week. Best ever week has occurred 3 times, which is 4 out of 5, which was pretty darn good, I gotta say. Pretty good to get 4 out of 5.
Very good.
And we're still striving for that perfect week of 5 out of 5. So,
but it all depends on today, because if I get today right, that puts me on the right track to get 5 out of 5.
There you go.
So
it also makes it easier to get each of the levels.
Yeah.
The passing grade, the winning week, closer to
Monday is a crucial day.
You haven't had a Monday correct recently. You've been digging from behind a lot lately.
Yeah, I think a couple of times I get a Monday right, but
I don't think the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Kind of, well, spread out over the course of time. It doesn't occur like too often. But hopefully I
Here-
can start
Well,
off today.
here at the top of the second hour, we always give you the topic
Yeah.
for what you can start thinking about it.
What is the topic for today's?
The topic for today is Superman.
Oh, my favorite superhero.
It actually involves the history lesson as well, because something happened on this state in 2021
Okay.
involving Superman. So we're going to use this not only as something that occurred on this state in history, but also as your number for the day quiz.
I like that.
How
That's
about
very
that?
cool.
There you go, right?
Very cool.
Absolutely. So fantastic. Saturday. And you love to see it because, again, it's about our democracy.
Yeah, it's about protecting our freedoms. and protecting
Exactly.
Our neighbors.
And people across the country on Saturday, including right here in central Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
said to Donald Trump, it's time for you to listen. It's time for you to start listening to what these insane policies are doing to our country.
Yeah.
And throughout the country, millions of people showed up all over the country.
Mm.
And hundreds of people gathered in Rib Mountain Saturday. And so many reasons to protest, the firing of thousands of people,
Yeah.
the closing down of important agencies. In fact, I'm going to tell a quick little anecdote here before I continue on
Go
this. Yesterday, I did my taxes, finally. Have you done your taxes yet?
My family and I did our taxes.
Yep. So I did my
a while ago,
taxes.
but we did do them. Yeah.
But I saw a report that this weekend, because of the firings at the Internal Revenue Service, that the United States is not saving money on that. They're losing money because is allowing many of the most wealthy people to continue to find tax loopholes without any fear of being caught, because there's not as many people doing looks at these tax returns. I'm sure that you and we're not getting these major tax loopholes. We just basically get paid for our work. We pay our taxes, hopefully get a little something back at the end of the year with a refund.
We try to save it up as much as we can.
There you go. But the report had roughly $600 billion being lost.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, craziness. Because all these
That's
rich people
insane.
are going to be able to take away, the fear of being caught, because basically Donald Trump and Elon Musk are trying to shut down the IRS in terms of reviewing tax returns. But that's just one of the many things in the past 2.5 months that has been happening.
It hasn't even been a year yet. People.
Hasn't even been a quarter of a year. I mean, it's
Exactly.
crazy.
It hasn't even been half a year.
It's been about 23% of the year. But people rallied for about 2 hours in Rib Mountain, and they're trying to send a message. According to WSAW.com, Chris Horning, group leader for the North Central Wisconsin Indivisible Group, said, quote, "Let people know that we're not happy with what's happening in Washington right now. It seems like every day there's another thing that's being defunded or attacked by Musk and Trump's group. Our democracy is being taken away from us."
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see by the crowd that has shown up here, there is 630 at the last count, people that are not happy with what's going on in our country right now, Democrat or Republican. That was Nancy Stencil, who always joins us every other week.
Mm.
She said that at that last count, 630, and there was even more that were coming. Stencil said they want a democracy that works for everybody and here to represent everybody in this country. I want to say something about what people really have to think about here.
Go ahead.
A very basic thing. For many years, I would say that Republican presidents and Democratic presidents, whether you disagree with them politically on some certain policies, that they wanted the American people to succeed, that they cared about the American people.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump does not care. And he has said so. He has said he doesn't care if car prices go up. He doesn't care whether the market crashes. He doesn't care about the folks that have lost their jobs. He said so. He does not care. Elon Musk has said that empathy is a fundamental weakness of Western civilization.
Oh my gosh.
He said that to Joe Rogan on his podcast. These people do not care.
No.
And the thing that is concerning is there are people that have voted for Donald Trump. I think basically because Donald Trump hates the same people that they hate. Instead of trying to build everybody up, they try to tear everybody down.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is our leadership has to care about the people. I don't know why you would serve if you don't care about trying to improve the well-being of the people that you represent. And yet Donald Trump seems to have this sort of pride that I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. And frankly, the bottom line is over his life, he has bankrupted multiple companies, multiple. And yet it never affects his standard of living.
No.
I think that if you or I bankrupted a business, it would affect our standard of living. We would not be
Yes, it
able to
would.
continue to sit on gold toilets like Donald Trump does. But Donald Trump, frankly, does not care about anybody but himself.
He hurts people because he can.
And he gets a rush out of that. He's got a record in his whole business career of stiffing contractors, of agreeing to pay somebody and then stiffing them and then saying, well, go to court. You'll be spending a whole lot of money there. I'll give you a certain percentage right now, but that's all you're getting. He has stiffed people. And I mean, at a
He's never had to
certain
work
point,
hard for anything in his life. He's had everything handed to him because of his family business. His a father or a grandfather,
his father,
his father also had a history of this, and just the fact that this behavior continues through his generations of family is just appalling. And the fact that he thinks he's above everybody else and thinks he can get away with this just because he's a
he's a rich guy.
yeah.
But
Because you're rich, you can do anything you want. That's basically what he thinks.
And he said he had a posting about an hour ago on his Truth Social. I'm going to read it to you coming up after the
this ought to
break.
be good.
Because again, shows that he just does not care. That's the bottom line. And we have to hold him to that.
Brace yourselves, people.
We're going to come right back. The time is 9:18 with Ian Welsh. I'm Chad Holmes. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
tonight.
Chad Home Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, Civic Media app as well. YouTube.com, go to the 98.9 WXCO channel on YouTube to be able to see a video stream of what we're up to. Also, you can send us a text or call us, 715-382-9297, 715-382-9297. And we did receive a text, and this is kind of interesting.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if you heard, it wasn't me. I will say this much. Dan from Wausau said, just checking if you can see my text. You had said last week I won $100 check. Well, I know I did not say it. And if you were the winner, somebody else had said it, they'll be contacting you, because last week, the last 2 weeks, in fact, we had our contest, the contest involving text to win. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of winners. I do not have all the winners in front of me. And so maybe he did win $100. I don't know. But it was not me who said that you had won, Dan, because I did not say anybody from Wausau had won $100. And it's not a check, it's cash. And every time I said it was $100 in cold, hard cash.
You did say that.
But Dan, if you were the winner, I'm sure that somebody from Civic Media will be contacting you to get you that $100. But
Yeah.
Yes, I can see your text, and I apologize. I had not checked out our text line over the last number of minutes until that last break. But hopefully you were a winner, and hopefully somebody out there close to us were a winner. But I did say you had a chance to win if you sent in your text. Not that you were all you have to do is text in to get $100. No, it didn't quite work that way. You got part of the drawing at the end of each hour, and some of the hours were $100 payoffs. So again, Dan, I did see your text, and hopefully you were a winner, but it was not me who said that you were the winner. And hopefully if you were the winner, you will get contacted, and it won't be hopefully, but you will get contacted if you were the winner. So again, and also coming up, we'll announce who are the grand prize, the Verlo mattress set from our contest that finished up on Friday. I've not seen the grand prize winner passed along to me yet. I think I'm at the end of the chain. So hopefully one of our Wausau listeners, our WXCO listeners, were the winners of our grand prize in our text to win statewide contest that wrapped up on Friday. But about an hour and 25 minutes ago, Donald J. Trump sent out a posting on his Truth Social account. He says, the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak, ! Don't be stupid, ! Don't be a panikin, ! Panikin. Have you ever heard of the panikin?
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Well, Donald Trump says it's a new party based on weak and stupid people. He says, be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness, all capital letters, will be the result! Again.
Again, it shows you that he doesn't care.
So basically, Donald J. Trump calls people that are concerned about the economy weak and stupid people. If you're concerned about what has been going on with the economy, you are weak and stupid, that you should just trust that Donald Trump knows what he's doing. The whole idea of Donald Trump as this business superstar was make-believe. Make-believe by the NBC television network. They gave him a show called The Apprentice, and they made him look like it is a phony show. It was not a real show. It was a phony show, and it made him look like he was some sort of business genius, when the record says, no, he was not a business genius. But enough people were sucked in. Oh, that Donald Trump is the real Donald Trump. No, he was not the real Donald Trump. And the idea that Donald Trump played a character named Donald Trump. Because if you look at his business record, it takes some real business skill to bankrupt a casino. I don't think anybody but Donald Trump can bankrupt a casino. I've been in a lot of casinos in my life. And believe me, most people walk out of that casino without the money they came into.
Yeah.
I mean, these casinos do not get bigger and bigger and more gaudy because people win a lot of money.
No, they do not.
Yet somehow Donald Trump, in his business genius, bankrupt a casino, one of the multiple bankruptcies he has had in his life. But now he says to people out there who have seen the results of his idiotic policies in the first 2+ months that you're an idiot, a weak and stupid person if you're concerned about what's going on. A panicking. I know that Donald Trump did not think of that himself. He'll say he thought of it himself, but he did not think of that himself.
And the fact that he also said he wants people to be brave and courageous and patient and greatness will be thrust upon them. What is there to be patient about? I mean, how long do you expect people to wait for until the economy is bankrupt, until you're kicked out of your house? Like,
lose your 401k, your retirement.
What do you want us to be patient for?
Donald knows what he's doing, he says. And there are plenty of people who say, I trust Donald Trump. I trust that Donald Trump knows what he's doing. No.
Well,
so again, don't be a panicking, says Donald Trump. Don't be a panicking. Don't panic. All right, Donald, we'll see what happens. The time is 9:28. Time for another information update. News, weather, and sports, entertainment. And we're going to have a quick sports update as well. And also, we're going to tell you about another billionaire in the Trump administration that makes a fool of himself every time he opens his mouth. Saw him again on Face the Nation yesterday. And just craziness out there. With Ian Welsh, I'm Chad Holmes. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
Hello there, this is James.
Melissa,
Chad,
and Seth, inviting you to come work with us. Civic Media is looking for a full-time sales professional to work with existing and new broadcast and digital media clients.
we're a fast-growing company that offers competitive wages, benefits, a relaxed working environment that focuses on quality of life, and includes a team of support to reach our shared goals.
Join us in continuing what we have done for 80 years. Be a part of the community, put into the community, celebrate community.
find out more by contacting Chuck Gennaro at 715-935-8030 or email chuck.gennaro@civicmedia.us. All inquiries are confidential. Civic Media Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer, and we look forward to you joining us.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones. Check 511wi.gov or download the app for road work or closures on your route. Know before you go with 511 Wisconsin, sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Dreamer, you know you are a dreamer. But can you put your hands in your head? Oh no, I said dreamer, you're nothing but a dreamer. But can you put your hands in your head? Oh no, I said fire. What a day, a year, a life it is. You know, well you know you had it coming to you. Now there's not a lot I can do. Dreamer, stupid little dreamer. So now you put your head in your hands, oh no. I said, oh, what a day, a year, a life it is. You know, well you know you had it coming to
And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Well, sports-wise, again, we had coverage of high school softball this past weekend. Saw the Wausau West girls softball team. They fell in their season opener against Lakeland on Friday, and then to another really good softball team, Cedarburg, on Saturday. Really terrific pitchers for both those squads. Warriors will be back in action, scheduled tomorrow against Merrill in a Wisconsin Valley Conference game. DC Everest also in that event over at Greenheck Turner Community Arena. They were able to win twice in their first two games of the season. Wausau East went 0-2 as well at that event. Coming up tomorrow, we'll have our first high school baseball broadcast of the season as the Wausau West Warriors take on Menominee, a game that was scheduled to be played at Wausau West, but because of the still chilly weather, the wet weather, they've moved the game to Wisconsin Rapids. They have a artificial turf field down in Wisconsin Rapids, so we will have that one from Wisconsin Rapids at a little bit of a later time, 6 o'clock pregame and 6:15 first pitch tomorrow night. Wausau West baseball taking on Menominee right here on Central Wisconsin's only radio home for high school play-by-play, 98.9 WXCO, WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. I gotta tell a little story here.
Go ahead.
Because Saturday, I was doing the Wausau West softball game, and there was a video streamer there as well. And for the DC Everest game, which was right after mine, there was a person that works over at WSAU and WRIG. They used to be covering Wausau West, I should say Wausau East and DC Everest high school sports.
Right.
And this person, who I mention from time to time on this show, is broadcasting DC Everest on this video streamer.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, I don't know, he doesn't fight to have the games broadcast on his radio station anymore. So I'm on the air for my game. My game was at 12 noon, Wausau West game. His game was at 2 o'clock, but he was there getting ready to go on with the video streamer.
Right.
And I mentioned a couple of times, and I raised my voice a little bit because I wanted him to hear it. As I said, I was saying that our schedule coming up, and I said, and all on 98.9 WXCO, proud to be the only Wausau radio station that still provides live local play-by-play of high school sports. I wanted him to hear it.
We are proud to keep saying that, too.
I know I was probably being a little petty there. Just a little bit petty. But
you're making a point.
I was making a point, and I think he heard me, but he would not going to... I have to admit it's a little awkward at times because I say a few things about that gentleman on the radio once in a while. And
we don't exactly know why they stopped doing the broadcast of the high school games. I mean, they were doing it for
many decades, and they just stopped. They stopped. They said, we don't want to do it anymore. And I think that's wrong. I think that these stations have a responsibility. It is.
You know, it's a good way to bring, more traffic into their radio station and good coverage as well. But, if they don't want to do it anymore, that's their choice. But we are more than happy to keep doing it because we are very proud to keep doing it all the year in many seasons, all different sports with different schools, because we do it for you. We do it for the fans.
Exactly. And yesterday, in fact, was National Student Athlete Day. And I put a posting on my social media and wanted to give a shout out to all the outstanding young people I get to cover on a regular basis. Balancing academics and athletics is not easy. And congratulations on doing it so well. And it's not just the athletes, it's also the kids that were involved in the theater production I saw on Friday at West, and the kids that are involved at Everest and East. They have to balance. They have to rehearse and be ready to perform, and also at the same time, not let their studies get behind. So again,
they can be tough.
Yep. And they do a wonderful job in terms of that. So yep. Yesterday, National Student Athlete Day, and terrific. By the way, there were two people from the Trump administration I want to talk about, not Donald himself and not Elon Musk. One is the border czar, man named Tom Homan. And he gets on the airwaves all the time, and he is just a hateful expletive deleted here. Not going to say
bad words.
I'm not going to say any bad. No, but he is just the worst. And over the weekend, he was on Fox News. And Tom Homan, I mean, you talk about idiocy. This idiocy. I mean, this is so dumb. I feel dumber having read it and talking about it. But Tom Homan, the border czar for Donald Trump, the man who gets such a rush out of arresting people and sending them off to El Salvador, some of which have been proven a mistake. But border czar Tom Homan said on Fox News that he finds Taco Bell's menu offensive to real Americans. And again, I hate when people use that term, real Americans.
You find the menu of a fast food restaurant
offensive? But
Americans.
But let me finish this, because then because there's even more that you're gonna just be amazed.
Oh, please go ahead.
Not only did Tom Homan say that he finds Taco Bell's menu offensive to real Americans, he also says he finds it offensive that Taco Bell has items in Mexican, not English. There is no such thing as Mexican language. They speak Spanish, not Mexican. This man is a few cards short of a full deck.
Yeah.
But that he finds it, number one, offensive that Taco Bell's menu, he finds Taco Bell's menu offensive to real Americans.
Then don't eat at Taco Bell.
But he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And then he says that it's in Mexican. What an idiot. I mean, I'm sorry. And this man is in a position to ruin people's lives, and he has ruined people's lives. That is wrong. And the second member of the Donald Trump administration that has just been every single time coming on and just being an idiot
Okay.
Yesterday, the man who is the secretary of, what is his official title here? Lutnick. I think he's the Commerce Secretary. I want to make sure on that. I'm pretty sure it's the Commerce Secretary. Howard Lutnick is the Secretary of Commerce. I was right.
Okay.
And Howard Lutnick is a billionaire, a mega billionaire. And again, he has no clue. First of all, a few weeks ago, he had said that if the government misses sending out a Social Security check, that most real Americans would, let's assume that it would eventually come, even though there are many older Americans who desperately need that Social Security check on time each and every month.
Mm-hmm.
But he said if his mother-in-law did not receive, who's older than 90 years old, had not received her Social Security check, she would just not do anything. She would assume that eventually she would get that check. And that anybody who does ask why it happened or made a call to the Social Security Administration or to the federal government, well, then they're trying to be fraudsters just for asking why the Social Security check wasn't there. Well, that was a few weeks ago. Well, Howard Lutnick, mega billionaire, Secretary of Commerce, appeared on Meet the Press on CBS yesterday morning. I should say on Face the Nation on CBS. Meet the Press is on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Face the Nation. And he says that Donald Trump's policies with the economy and with the tariffs, quote, the army of millions and millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones, that kind of thing is going to come to America.
I'm sorry, what?
That these folks that make pennies per hour doing the least intellectually stimulating work of screwing in little screws to make iPhones. He is touting that those jobs are coming back to America because of Donald Trump, when they're, number one, they're not. And number two, those are not the kind of jobs we should be trying to build for Americans, for middle-class Americans. He wants sweatshops. He wants servers for rich people like himself. This man is one of the truly great idiots in American history. Truly.
So he thinks it's the role of the middle-class worker to basically be like servants for the rich people.
Yes.
Or otherwise just working in sweatshops
Yes.
doing labor
Yes.
for the big companies.
You hit it on the head.
So you're evaluating humanity as nothing more than a glorified butler.
And they also don't want unions. They don't want good working conditions. They don't want good pay. He wants these folks to do the most menial tasks for the smallest amount of money in order for people like him to get richer. That is, again, what this administration is all about.
So he's trying to turn the clock back to the early days of history when children were working in the coal mines to make a living.
Working 18-hour days, 7 days a week.
Seriously.
I
It's like,
mean,
how can you
be
so heartless?
It is truly what the Trump administration is all about. So those are two folks I wanted to kind of bring up here this morning as well. Well, coming up, we'll have our daily history lesson. We will have our number for the day quiz. See if Ian can get off to a winning start this week. So
absolutely.
That is straight ahead. The time is 9:48. Light snow, overcast conditions in downtown Wausau. 28 degrees is the temperature. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
yourselves within the night. Dance inside the dream circle. I'm waiting for you.
And welcome back, Chad Home Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Time is 9:52, 28 degrees in downtown Wausau. It is the 7th day of April of 2025, day number 97 of this year. There are 268 days remaining in the year 2025. And a look at some of the famous events that have occurred on this date in history. April the 7th of 1795, France adopted the meter as the basic measure of length. On this date in 1827, John Walker, an English chemist, sold the first friction match. He had invented it in the previous year. On this date in 1860, Will Kellogg was born in Battle Creek, Michigan. Will's physician brother, John, developed cornflakes and other cereals to serve patients at his mental hospital, and Will founded the Kellogg Company to market the cereals. On this date in 1970, actor John Wayne received an Oscar for Best Actor for his role in True Grit. On this date in 2003, U.S. troops captured Baghdad. Saddam Hussein's regime fell 2 days later. On this date in 2016, the longest ever captured python found in Malaysia was 26 feet long.
Holy smokes.
And on this date in 2022, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was confirmed as the first black woman to become a Supreme Court Justice in a historic 53-47 vote in the United States Senate. Some celebrities that are celebrating their birthdays today. Director Francis Ford Coppola. He was the man behind the Godfather pictures, Apocalypse Now, The Conversation, so many great movies.
Absolutely.
Francis Ford Coppola, 86 years old today. John Oates, member of Hall & Oates, 77 years old today. Jackie Chan,
Oh,
71 today. Actor Russell Crowe from A Beautiful Mind and Gladiator and many other movies. Russell Crowe is 61. Philanthropist Mackenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos. Mackenzie Scott doing wonderful work with the money that she has earned over her lifetime. Much better than Jeff Bezos, who's been on his knees for Donald Trump the last few months. But Mackenzie Scott, 55 years old today. Former NFL running back Tiki Barber from the New York Giants, 50 years old today. And Nico Santos of Superstore is 46. And if you out there celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to you from all of us at 98.9 WXCO.
happy birthday.
Some special events being acknowledged today. It is Metric System Day. It is Coffee Cake Day. It is No Housework Day. It is Pet Health Insurance Day. It
Very
is
important.
Public Television Day. It is World Health Day. It is World Health Organization Day. And National Beer Day. And for Wisconsin, obviously, that's
I heard
a
them
big
talking about
holiday.
that on the radio as I was driving into work.
Yeah, National Beer Day. I've not had much beer in my life. I've had less than half a can total my whole life.
I tried a sip of it once.
It's
didn't like
yucky.
it.
Yucky.
No, it doesn't taste very good to me. Maybe it's just my taste buds.
Yep, I didn't like it either. So those are the special events being acknowledged today.
All right.
All right, time for our number for the day and our number for the day quiz. And today's number for the day involves Superman, and it also involves our history lesson because 4 years ago today, on April the 7th of 2021, a record-breaking price was paid for a comic book as Action Comics #1, which introduced Superman for the first time, sold at auction. And our number for the day is, what was that record-breaking price paid for a comic book, Action Comics #1, which introduced Superman for the first time, sold at auction?
And this was 4 years ago.
4 years ago today. This occurred at an auction on April the 7th of 2021.
Okay, what are my choices?
All right. Your choices are $1.25 million. That's $1.25 million.
Okay.
$3.25 million. $5.25 million. So $1.25 million, $3.25 million, $5.25 million. The record-breaking price paid for a comic book, Action Comics #1, which introduced Superman for the first time.
That is a very rare comic, and people would pay a lot of money for that. Well, I am a huge Superman fan, but I don't buy a lot of comics, so this...
Well, you didn't buy this one, I'm sure.
Might be a little tough, but I'm going to say that that comic 4 years ago sold for, I'm going to say $3.25 million. I'm going to go with B. I start off the week. It's my final answer. I'm going with the middle number.
All right. A record-breaking price of what was paid for a comic book as Action Comics #1, introducing Superman for the first time at an auction. The auction price was $3.25 million.
Nice.
So you got it right. One for one so far this week.
Oh, a good way to start off.
There
the
you go.
New work week. Holy smokes, that's a lot of money to pay for just one comic. But it must be a very... I mean, it is a very rare comic. That's the first appearance of Superman. I mean...
Thanks to Brenton Kneiss, Jenna Graveen, Maddie Flees, and Lucy Olson from the CWCT Enchanted Bookshop Musical. Tomorrow we'll have folks from DC Everest, part of their All Shook Up musical coming up this week. And also we'll have Robin Vargas from the Marathon County Public Library. See you tomorrow.
Happy Monday, everybody.